GenCon 2015, Mark Arnaudo reporting from the booth of Greenbrier Games. We are going to talk about a game that comes from a partnership between Twin Fire Games and Greenbrier. And here we have William from Twin Fire that is going to tell us a little bit about Folklore, the Affliction. A game that, if I'm not wrong, was on Kickstarter last year, wasn't it?
It was, yes. So, you know, Folklore, the Affliction was on Kickstarter last October of 2014, and we successfully funded. But we decided to cancel the project, primarily because we wanted to take a look and do things even better than we had. It was a great game to start with, but we wanted to add more choice to characters and the expandability and replayability of the game itself. One other thing is that we decided after we canceled the Kickstarter project, we reported to Greenbrier Games, the partner, and it was a great synergy between us. They really do an awesome job with miniatures, which is another area we really wanted to focus in on. We have an incredible line of miniatures over here in the display case, and it just really made the game all that much more better. There's so many more additional features and choice within the game. It's incredible.
So the game is going back to Kickstarter later on this year?
Next month is September.
Okay. Yeah. So here's we have a prototype, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a prototype, obviously, and here you see the world map where characters progress across to various locations, like there's various towns like Wayland's Point and Eurotrusk and Ostalink, and this is the group that moves on the map together along the roads or off-road, which is a change from the last Kickstarter. There's various off-road events and road events that are drawn as you progress along. And so this is a storytelling game. So we have here in this demo the first story. So it's a story journal, and basically it kind of walks you through what you need to do. One neat thing is that this is the first story that's included in the game is a tutorial. So you don't have to go into the rule book and read 60 pages and try to remember everything. And that's one thing we just don't like. Not that it's 60 pages, but my point is that you can skim the rule book and then go right into the story, and it kind of tells you what to do.
Learn as you play.
Learn as you play, and that's really a motivation of ours, because we hate opening up big rule books and having to deal with the amount of information. It takes you all day to learn how to play.
Yeah.
This is a pretty straightforward game. It's not a lot of complexity, but it's a lot of expandability in terms of what you can do. So as you progress to various eventual locations that are told to you in the story journal, you end up in various areas. Like the demo we're running here at GenCon is you have to go to the Goron tombs right here, and you end up in this location. And then you use...
So you're moving on the map, and then you're zooming in and seeing the actual location.
So then you place your characters on the map, okay? And there'll be miniatures, as I mentioned. These are just standard prototypes, and there'll be various creatures on the board as well. So and then if there's creatures on the board, for example, you would engage in combat. There's actually, so this is the flesh-eating ghoul, one of the creatures you'd find here. So there's various stats depending on the number of characters you have. This is a 1 to 5 player game, which is another change from last year. It was 1 to 4. We expanded to 5 players. Special powers that they have, and then these are their attacks. So you roll a percentile dice, 2d10s, and depending on what number they roll, they do a certain ability. Another combat, so this is what we call an encounter. And then there is a skirmish, which is a more simplified combat mechanism that happens like when you're on the road or when you don't want to have to play with miniatures. So basically, again, depending on the number of characters in the game, you'd roll these dice, and that would determine the strength of the skirmish. And then each round, the creature would attack everybody, and all the characters would attack the creature to reduce the skirmish counter down. And there's various powers. So the stronger the skirmish, the more bonuses they have, the weaker they are, they receive negatives. Okay, so that's the gist of the combat options.
And on a side note, I am a miniature player, but not one that likes to build terrain, so I usually use paper maps.
Okay.
And I mean, or maps from other games. And just looking at this is a map that is so nice and detailed that I'm already thinking I could use it in miniature games.
You can use this
as a map for any
game. It's 1-inch scaled. You could take this into a Dungeons and Dragons game or Pathfinder or whatever, another miniatures type game. It's very adaptable. They're unique enough where there will be 10 maps.
Exactly, it's like unique and generic enough that you can adapt it to a lot.
Yeah, now each map will be double-sided. This is a
just a prototype.
Yeah, but we have 10 or 9 of these double-sided maps and one 5x10 map as well that's double-sided. So you have almost 20 maps. So a lot of options there that you can use in other games, as you mentioned. Let's see what else. One neat thing about this game that's unique from other games is that it's dangerous. You're gonna die eventually, maybe, if you're not. And it's not that hard to die, but the game's not over. If you die, you become a ghost. Okay, and you get to play on as a ghost character. So you have a number of ghost points, which is basically your health. It can grow, which is why the counter there is larger than 10. You start there, and you can do a number of abilities that use ghost points, and so they're going to do a blessing, bestow 5 might to all allies for 1 turn, costs 2 ghost points, and it's a ranged thing, so you can do it from anywhere they have visibility to. And then it reduces your ghost points. You can also attack, but you have to be careful because just like any spirit you fight, you can fight too. You're ethereal, so you're resistant to some damage, but it's still very dangerous. So if you die and lose all your ghost points, you go into limbo, which means you're off the game. But even that's not the end. You can go to town to visit the gypsies, and then you can draw a tarot card, which I think I have in the box here. Tarot cards are a way to come back from the gypsy for free, but it's a negative effect. So this is the death tarot card, and so basically you are immediately placed into limbo upon death. So you don't become a ghost if you have this card. So it's not a very good thing. There's ways to get rid of these, but it's costly. So you definitely want to avoid going to limbo, but it doesn't put you out of the game if you get there. And you might end up there via some story moment as well. There's an expansion that we're looking at offering for a Kickstarter. The tentative name right now is called Afterlife, where we'll have special minis for the ghost characters where they're transparent rather than standard plastic, and it'll go deeper into the spiritual realm. So some neat stuff there.
And I assume the victory conditions are scenario based, depending on the story you're playing?
Yeah. So basically you have goals in the story, and your ultimate goal is to eliminate the world of the afflictions that plague it. So there's 2 types of baddies in here. There's creatures, which we talked about with the ghoul, and there's also afflictions, which are the boss characters. They're unique, and they're the ones who are behind all the trouble. Okay, it's a gritty landscape. The settings actually for this particular version is 1700s Eastern Europe. So, but we're expanding beyond that through different ways. Through our partnership with Ed Greenwood, where he's going to again write a number of novels for us, as well as this consortium of authors, and some role-playing adventures.
Sounds great. This is Folklore, The Affliction, back on Kickstarter soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, William.
A pleasure.